Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're diving into a fascinating modern-day fable. It's a story all about what happens when our super convenient modern world just breaks, and how the very things we might look down on can suddenly become the key to our survival.
So, let's meet Garima. This one sentence tells you everything you need to know about her frustration. She's put her life savings into this dream house, this perfect modern life, only to have her peaceful morning yoga totally ruined by smoke coming from her neighbor's yard.
And right there, that's the setup for our first section. This isn't just some petty neighborhood argument over a little smoke. Oh no. This is a clash of two completely different worlds literally living right next door to each other.
And here's where you can really see the two sides laid out. You've got Garima, who depends on her sleek, modern LPG gas stove. For her, smoke is just pollution, and those cow dung cakes her neighbor uses, they're just filth. But then you have Kaushalya. She uses a traditional earthen stove, a chula. For her, smoke is just a natural part of cooking, and those dung cakes are an amazing, totally free source of fuel.
For Garima, this is a nightmare. Her list of complaints just keeps growing. It's the smoke, let's be honest, it's the smell of the cow dung cakes, or upla as they're called, drying next door. She truly believes this kind of desi or traditional lifestyle belongs back in a village somewhere, not in her fancy city neighborhood. And she's not quiet about it. She complains to everyone and even threatens to call the society management.
But Kaushalya? Oh, she is not bothered one bit. She stands her ground basically saying, listen, this isn't trash, it's fuel, and this is my property, so I'll do what I want. The battle lines have officially been drawn.
So you'd think this is just going to be a long, drawn-out neighborhood feud, right? Well, an outside crisis is about to hit that will turn this entire situation completely on its head.
And bam, just like that, the entire system Garima's life is built on, it just collapses. There's a nationwide shortage of cooking gas cylinders. No gas, no stove. Her beautiful modern kitchen, this symbol of her success, is now totally useless. She can't even finish making rice for her family.
So in a panic, Garima turns to her community, her friends, her network, but her so-called modern support system just crumbles. The gas agency tells her there's nothing, not even if she pays extra. Her best friend Mamta lies to her face, pretending she's also out of gas while secretly cooking. Even her family friend says no, telling her flat out it's every family for themselves now. Her safety net is gone.
So every modern door has been slammed in Garima's face. She's defeated, her family's hungry. But while her world is shutting down, her neighbor's world, well, it's just getting started.
And this is where the irony just gets so thick you could cut it with a knife. Suddenly, this incredible smell of a hot, delicious meal drifts into their home. And where is it coming from? You guessed it, Kaushalya's kitchen. The very same smoke that Garima hated is now carrying the scent of her family's only hope for food.
Garima has no choice. She has to swallow her pride, go over and ask her backward neighbor for help. And Kaushalya's response is just perfect. She says, sure, we can help, if you can tolerate the smoke.
But don't think this is just a friendly gesture. Nope. Kaushalya sends over a delicious meal along with a bill. She has instantly created a tiffin delivery service for the entire neighborhood. Garima is floored. The woman she wrote off as some simple villager is actually a brilliant entrepreneur who saw a crisis and immediately turned it into a business.
Now, Garima quickly realizes that buying takeout every day is just not sustainable. She's going to go broke. So she has to find a real long-term solution. And that means it's time to face her prejudices head-on.
Yep, the penny drops. The only way forward is to become the very thing she used to mock. She needs to buy those smelly cow dung cakes and build her own stove. And so she joins this long line of all her other posh, modern neighbors, all waiting to buy the one thing that can give them a hot meal.
And talk about a reality check. Garima gets to the front of the line thinking, maybe 30, 40 rupees a kilo. But Kaushalya looks her in the eye and quotes her a price of 400 rupees a kilo, a tenfold increase. Basic supply and demand is a harsh, harsh teacher.
When Garima sputters at the price, Kaushalya gives her a little masterclass in business. She says, look, you're not just buying dung, you're buying a finished product, GoPro. And she adds that the price includes her overhead, like, having to listen to endless complaints from people just like Garima.
In the end, what can she do? Absolutely nothing. Garima hands over 8,000 rupees for 20 kilos of what she used to think of as garbage. The power dynamic has been completely 180 degrees flipped.
So Garima and her mother-in-law figure it out. They build their own stove and learn this new old way of cooking. And just as they're getting the hang of it, the crisis ends. But the lessons they learned are about to stick with them forever.
You can just picture it, right? After a couple of days of coughing and struggling with this new stove, the news finally breaks. The gas shortage is over. Cylinders are on their way, and Garima is left staring at this huge, incredibly expensive pile of dung cakes that are now, it seems, totally worthless.
But then they do the math, and they have this incredible aha moment. A gas cylinder costs about 1,000 rupees and lasts them, 20 days? But 1,000 rupees worth of these dung cakes? That could last them for months. They've stumbled onto what you might call a jugaad, a classic, frugal life hack that can totally slash their monthly budget.
So instead of just throwing the chula away and going back to normal, they get smart. They create this new hybrid routine. They keep the earthen stove and decide, hey, let's cook just one meal a day on this thing. It's the perfect mix of modern convenience and traditional savings, and it makes a huge difference to their budget.
And this is the best part. The story comes completely full circle. A new neighbor moves in, sees the smoke from Garima's yard, and makes the exact same complaint Garima used to make. But now, Garima just thinks to herself, oh, she'll learn. She'll learn when she gets a shock just like we did. The transformation is absolutely complete.
And that leaves us with a really powerful question to think about, doesn't it? It makes you look at your own life and ask, what systems am I totally dependent on? And is there a simpler, more resilient way of doing things that I've been ignoring, just because I thought it was old-fashioned or backward? So what's the cow dung cake you've been overlooking in your own life?